City Spurs boys, and we're back with the tactical breakdown.
Stats Man Joke!
And he's back for part 2 from Flatcap Euro Talk. Football school.
Football school!
Wow, an even better intro than last time, guys.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. Good to be back. Looking forward to breaking down these terms. New ones, I guess, this time. Yeah, glad to be back. Thanks for having me back. And yeah, like I said, even better intro than the last time, which I thought wasn't possible.
We're working on it.
Good to hear.
Jack, tell me about that.
So, Jack, so because it's kind of football school, you're basically our teacher. So, why don't you tell us about some long ball football play?
Long ball football play.
I think the long ball would be probably used, right, in a game that we just played, right, where a team that's putting a lot of pressure on us, making life really difficult for us. I remember, right, Liverpool was trying to make it so that every single pass was really, really tough to get off. That's maybe when you go for that bit of that long ball sort of type of style, because then you don't have to worry about, trying to get all these passes off that might be really tough. You can just kind of hit it long, hope for the best, and maybe have some players up top that can be able to take it down maybe better than others. So probably most often used when teams are maybe being put under a bunch of pressure. So you'd see it all the time. And again, a really good probably example of a team that uses it a lot is maybe Brentford or like Burnley, or maybe two good examples.
All right. Can you now tell us how teams could utilize the use of possession?
Possession certainly is utilized by definitely probably the best of teams, mostly because the logic is that the only way you can score is with the ball. So probably having the ball more often than the other team would then mean you have a greater chance of scoring. Some teams don't really look at it that way, but lots of teams like Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, teams of that sort, and usually just teams that are better than the other team often have more possession than the other one. And the whole reason for that is just to be able to create more chances and the ability to create more goals. So possession can be used in a variety of different ways and can be used in a variety of different kind of manners. But yeah. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I was itching my nose and I didn't want you guys to see, so I did it like
Why did you want us to see? Oh, now you're letting us see.
Oh.
Oh. What teams would you say use possession?
Man City, right? Best example. In fact, such a good example, they almost put you to sleep. Liverpool obviously use a ton of possession. Certain Spanish teams, use a lot of possession, like Barcelona, of course. Maybe even a team like Brighton actually use a lot of possession in most cases. Bayern Munich often have a lot of possession. Usually teams that use possession and have a lot of possession are often just the better teams in whatever scenario.
Yeah. Well, we beat City twice, so they can't be that much better than
You don't
us.
need it. You don't often need it, right? A good example. Yeah, good point.
Okay, now this one we use the most. Counterattack.
A counterattack is quite simple, because if we were just talking about possession, a counterattack, when they get the ball, to send a bunch of players forward really quickly and right away, so that maybe those players that were originally being sent forward don't have the time to get back and collect themselves. Therefore, you get like a quick, kind of fast-paced sort of goal, a counterattack. The best examples of it, Spurs, of course. I mean, you've seen countless examples of us counterattacking teams where we're sitting super deep in our half, and then all of a sudden, the team, is able to counter us. Another good example would be Real Madrid as well in the past. There's even, I think, some records that they broke at some stage for fastest counterattack goals and things like that. So yeah.
Okay, now this is a very, very important question. How do you like my new chair?
Is that a leather in the back there? It looks nice. I like your hat more, Christian. I got to be honest. Your hat with your hair looks spectacular. I'm so jealous. You got the good genes, my man. You got the good genes.
Now I have a question for Kush. Oh, what's with all the nose rubbing?
Okay, so I was pretending to rub my nose for a little bit, but then my nose actually started to itch, so it took me a little longer.
It happens, once you had to think about it, right?
Mm,
All right. Can you now tell us how teams use the wing play? Wing play, right? Wing play tactic.
yeah, wing play.
Wing play. Wing play can be probably explained kind of simply if what you mean by that is just like what a winger more or less does. Like a winger is more or less responsible for taking it by whatever defender, putting passes or crosses into the box, taking past their defender to get shots on goal, kind of just getting the ball further up the pitch without needing to pass it or without needing to work the ball a bunch. Basically, wingers are kind of responsible for getting by their defenders and kind of getting the ball up the pitch more or less with their own two legs.
Yeah. How could you say a team could defend against that? When put against that?
I mean, every team has wingers. So in the case of wing play, I think every team defends against it with having probably a good fullback or a good right back or a good left back to be able to defend against that sort of winger. But right, every
Not
team has
Tottenham.
wingers. Yeah, maybe not us. I guess we'll have a tougher time than others. You're right.
Which teams usually often use wing play?
I think every team uses it to an extent, unless they don't really have wingers, to be fair. Teams that rely on their wingers, you could maybe, if you wanted to phrase it that way.
I do.
Probably a team like Liverpool often. Teams like Liverpool often rely on their wingers heavily. You could look at Man City. They often rely on their wingers heavily. Chelsea, the same thing. It's tough to say. But yeah, any team where you see those like Arsenal, actually a good example too. I mean, they definitely rely on those wingers to do a lot of the creative work as well with Martinelli and Saka. So good example.
We don't speak about that team here.
Yeah, that's a bad word here.
Edit it out.
Yeah. Watch your language. We're kind of in school right now.
Sorry, Christian. I apologize.
It's okay. It's just no more chances after this. Detention if you do it again.
Yep, I'll be put in timeout.
Now, I just have to ask, Christian, while he was explaining wing play, were you faking it again, or was it actually?
Yeah, it was actually. Now, the one I really want to know most is high press.
Yeah, a high press is kind of actually quite easy because when you think about it, it's similar to other sports to an extent. It's similar to other sports where basically imagine, the whole field or however you want to picture it. Imagine all the players in the defensive side. So all the defenders just being pushed much higher up the pitch. And so the back four is, a lot higher up the pitch. The midfielders are a lot higher up the pitch. And then the attackers are a lot higher up the pitch. So a good way to think about it is if you guys play basketball, when they tell you to do like a full court press, sort of, often what happens is instead of like the game being played on one half, the game kind of gets played in, on the other end of the court. So that's what kind of you could imagine it as, is where the whole defense just gets pushed on into the kind of the other end of the pitch, and they try to win the ball up very high up the pitch. The whole point of the high press is just to be able to win the ball higher up the pitch so that you don't have to travel as far when you do get the ball, meaning that you probably have a better chance to score probably, because if you don't have to travel as far, maybe you only need one or two passes, then all of a sudden, you're in on goal and you have a good opportunity. So the best way to describe it would be, the team basically just putting all their defenders, all their players a lot higher up the pitch, and then making life difficult for the team that has the ball. And so that team that does have the ball, all those passes that they normally would have an easier time making in their own half, all end up being very, very difficult passes to make.
Oh, well, I'm sure we all heard of this, and we already know the person who uses it the most, Jose Mourinho. Park the bus. How can teams utilize park the bus?
A team can utilize a park the bus sort of approach against maybe what we were talking about earlier with kind of a possession-based team, and it also kind of connects to counterattacking. Often when you're parking the bus, usually you're expecting to usually counterattack is your way of maybe scoring the goal if you do need to score a goal. Parking the bus usually just means putting every single man behind the ball, and that means like the striker included. So that would mean Harry Kane is even, behind all of the behind the ball. So that means every single person is defending no matter what. You're not even concerned about going forward until you get the ball. So that's basically a way of describing park the bus. Every single man behind the ball defending for their lives. And often it kind of connects to kind of counterattacking kind of stuff as well.
Oh, okay. I just have a question to ask you again. When we're asking Jack over here what tactic we use, why do you just say, now let's get on high press? Yes. Let's get on possession. It is a question.
Running it smoothly.
I'm tired. We just finished school.
Look forward to it.
Pretty long day. And I just have a question about park the bus. Wouldn't it also go into possession too?
It's that sort of system that goes against the possession. Is a way to think about it. It's like the possession's like mortal enemy is the park the bus, because no matter how much possession you have, it's really tough to sometimes break down a defense if every single guy is behind the ball, right? So you could say the park the bus goes hand in hand with possession, kind of like like Batman and the Riddler or something, and the new Batman, or like Batman and the Joker. It's like the two enemies of each other, parking the bus and possession.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
2 shows. Are we gonna do a 3? We might do a 3, but you guys are gonna have to see for next time.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. I remember, guys, go check out Flatcap Euro Talk 2. Flatcap Euro Talk.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Right,
really appreciate it.
They can find you? Or
Yep, that's where they can find me. The Irish Hotspur and Flatcap Euro Talk. Check it out. All things having to do with Spurs, as well as fixing Spurs. Really would appreciate it if you guys had it over there. Thanks, guys.
And everybody remember, that's 2 shows right there.
Yep. Go like
2
and subscribe.
shows. Yep.
Bye.
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 Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We might be doing a part 3, but you guys are gonna have to come check us out to find out. Remember, guys, today is to do.
So go for it.
Come on, you Spurs!
We sang in France, we sang in Spain, we sing in the sun and we sing in the rain. They tried to stop us, but look what they did. The thing we love most is being a kid, being a kid, being a kid. The thing we love most is being a kid.
Come on, you Spurs!